Hello again, Emerson here with another product review here at TRACKSVR. We were sent these pedals by SimForge. This is their new load cell pedal. This is a bit of a demo product, this one. It's not maybe one-to-one with what you'd get with the out-of-box version if you were to purchase them yourselves, but from the pictures I've seen, it is a pretty good representation of the final product that you would get if you were to buy them yourself. Right from when we got them, we had some opinions on them, some good, some bad. We've had them on our demo sim for the past month, so we've had lots of testing between all of us at TRACKSVR, plus some of you maybe have driven them as well if you came and did our December Hot Lap Challenge, because these are the pedals we've had mounted for the month of December here. The brake pedal itself is probably what I've heard the most feedback from, both from other TRACKSVR pit crew members and from customers as well. But yeah, let's kind of go over some of the details here. So when we first opened it up, a couple things that came to attention: fit and polish and the finishing of the pedals. Not great in every aspect. The one thing I didn't like was the powder coating on the pedals. I noticed it was coming off in a couple spots, but that could just be because it was the demo product that we were sent. And then the next thing I noticed before we mounted them, in behind the pedals here, I'll get some close-up shots of them, the rubber bump stops for the end of the pedal travel. Now, initially, wasn't too fond of it, but as I started to realize maybe who these pedals are targeted at, maybe could be turned in maybe a positive as well. But the rubber bump stops are just regular rubber hoses you get at a hardware store. So initially, I kind of thought that doesn't look too great. And then further along the process, as we were mounting them, I started to notice more and more 3D printed components, which I was starting to wonder, are these just a prototype? Even on the control box here, there's some couple 3D printed standoffs here for mounting it. But after we mounted it to our ASR pedal plate and then mounted to the chassis, when I went to download the software, what I noticed on the downloads page on the website was they also have all the STL files for every 3D printing component, and even not just the components that are on here, but add-ons. There's lots of room back here for haptic motors for like this. In particular, the SimMagic haptics. They have an STL file, so you could 3D print your own bracket to mount those on yourself, and then away you go. And as we started to use them, my initial thoughts was the gas pedal and the clutch pedal a little bit on the light side, but a couple small adjustments, just moving this pivot point upwards on both of those, rectified that. Once I did that, I actually really quite liked the feeling of both the throttle and the clutch pedal. They both feel really good. The brake, as I mentioned, we had lots of feedback from it. Lots of feedback I heard was they really like the feel of it. It is a very heavy brake pedal. When we initially set it up, we did have to under-calibrate the brake pedal quite a bit because the load cell was set to way too strong of a force. It would hardly register at all initially. So once we under-calibrated it, it worked pretty well. It also does come with some different elastomers, so you can change that pedal squishiness, I guess you could say. The way we have it configured right now, it is still a very heavy pedal. Some of us of the TRACKSVR pit crew said it was too heavy. Lots of the customers tended to actually like the way it felt. So that's all subjective and up to personal preference. I don't mind it. It took me a little bit getting used to. It's much stiffer than how I have my pedals set at home, but they do feel pretty good. Grand scheme of things, the pedals themselves, they're not mind-blowing in any particular way. Nothing wrong with them. Nothing terrible about them. Sorry. Nothing wrong with them. Nothing remarkable about them either. They're perfectly fine. For me, the most interesting part about them is how you can 3D print your own components. Oh, and on that note, like I said, I mentioned the rubber hoses for the bump stops. Those are wear components. Those are eventually going to wear out, without question. It may take a while. It'd probably be years and years of use before those actually wear out. But when they do wear out, you don't have to get a new bump stop from SimForge. You can just go to your local hardware store and just get a new length of hose, cut it to the right length, put it in there, and away you go. And I think with that aspect, I would almost consider these maybe the tinkerer's set of pedals. So I know a lot of people want to have something that you plug in, it's ready to go, something breaks, you get a part from the manufacturer, it's easy to use. This is probably always going to take a little bit of extra work, but it's almost as if they encourage you to work on them themselves. Now, that's me saying that, not SimForge saying that, so take that with a grain of salt. But with that aspect, I kind of like it. I would maybe see myself using these because I'm a bit of a tinkerer myself. Would I choose them over other pedals? Hard to say. Like I said, these aren't for everybody. Another thing with these pedals was the physical size of them. especially the brake pedal faceplate here. It's very wide. You might notice in the footage of me driving with these pedals here, you may notice every once in a while my shoe gets caught underneath the brake pedal and the throttle pedal. And less frequent, but every once in a while even between the clutch and the brake pedal when I'm switching between left foot and right foot braking. But despite that, if it were on maybe a more dedicated pedal plate, like I said, this is a little bit cobbled together with what we had around for a pedal plate to make it quick and easy to swap in and out. If this was maybe a better solution of a pedal plate, we can maybe space it out just a little bit further, make those pedals that much better. But overall, I think big picture, we're impressed with the pedals. But maybe with some constructive criticism and a further iteration of these pedals might be even better still. So those are our thoughts on the pedals. We want to hear your thoughts. Some of you may have even tried these pedals because, like I said, we had these on our demo sim up front for our December Hot Lap Challenge. So if you came in the month of December, you will have tried these pedals. Talk about it in the comments. What did you think of the pedals? Did you like the brake pedal? Did you like the throttle pedal? We had automatic clutch turned on, so obviously you won't be able to talk much about the clutch pedal, but we want to hear from you as well. On top of that, if you guys like what we do here, please like and subscribe on YouTube. It helps more people find us that way too. Anyways, those are our thoughts on the SimForge pedals. Thanks for watching. See you next time.